I said, that's it. From this workshop forward, I am an abstract artist. This is where I want to start doing that kind of work and just focus on that. So it was exciting to prepare for that. I mean, I showed up with 36 by 36 inch canvases, and I was just like,
Ready.
30 by 40s. I'm like, this is it. I'm going big or going home. And so it was very exciting for me. It was this kind of transitional moment in going from mixed media and venturing into something new. Now, it was also difficult. It was a period of growing again and learning and figuring things out. And that part, as you know, is never easy, but you have to go through that to get to become a better artist and to be able to create art that you're happy with, that you're satisfied with, that you're ecstatic about.
Yeah. What was that? What would you say was the hardest part of that? Like, I love the image of you sort of just putting your, staking your claim, but like a flag on the moon, kind of like, this is what I'm going to do. And then I know for me, sometimes when I'm in front of a canvas, especially like this huge one behind me, sometimes I go into it with this intention of I'm going to be totally free and wild, and then I get there and something sort of, I can feel me going up into my mind, and I start to want to make it good. And as soon as I start to want to make it good, that's when I know the bad painting is on its way. Because I feel like it's that, like, trying. So what
Yep.
for you in that process, I imagine you didn't just go from saying you wanted to be a great abstract artist to just being it the next day. So that you're saying that it was hard. There was what was the hardest thing?
I think the hardest thing was, and it took me several years because that was 2015 when I went to that workshop. And in 2018 is when I finally figured out my style. So those 3 years, although that doesn't seem like very long looking back now, but
It does when you're living it, though.
exactly. So when you're living it, it was very frustrating because first of all, I couldn't figure out abstract art. Like, how do I create something? Is there a focal point? Is there a composition I should be figuring out? So in the beginning, I actually cheated a bit. And what I did was I created abstract landscapes
Okay.
because that was kind of my transition. It was a way to go from, okay, something I'm familiar with, a landscape, and abstracting it I can do because there's kind of this element of a sky or
Mhm.
water or land. And so that was my way of slowly transitioning into it. And then from there I just started like making marks, putting stuff down. I took some workshops also with some favorite artists, and that really helped me. And I always seem to pick up something from each workshop that I could apply to my own work. And there were just days where I remember being in the studio and just looking at what I'm doing and going, I just don't know what I'm doing. I'm just going to
Mhm.
do, but I have no clue what I'm doing, but I just have to keep going. I need to put my blinders on and just not pay attention to everything else. Because at that point, I was on social media looking at what
Mhm.
other people were doing. And there were days that was so frustrating for me because I would look at somebody who, and I knew at the time, was way further ahead in their journey than I was. But yet I would still look at that and say, well, what's wrong with me? Why can't I figure this out?
Mhm.
And so I had to put those blinders on and say, Betty, just keep creating, just stay focused, keep doing what you're doing. And I couldn't get to where I was unless I just kept putting down paint, kept
Mhm.
putting down marks, kept trying to figure things out.